I'm not 19 anymore, but at the time I was 19. Why have I got like 10 grey hairs in my head? It just don't make no sense.
What's up, it's your girl Nicole, aka Lil MCK. Too busy being an icon and shit.
I am just an icon living. I am just an icon living. Icon living. I am just an icon living. I am just an icon.
So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what is up? It's your girl Nicole, aka Lil MCK, and in today's video I am going to be basically giving you guys a little story time on why it is that I no longer do architecture in the University of Portsmouth. Now, as a little disclaimer, before I get into the video, I just want to let you guys know that the only reason why I'm making this story time is because it was asked. You guys wanted to know. However, I'm in no way saying that because this is what happened to me and this is the reason why I changed should be a reason as to why you might second guess whether or not you want to do the subject there, or second guess if you want to change courses as well. Basically the same thing. Because although my story times might influence you guys and it's giving you a bit of insight on like the potential possibilities that could happen to you based on what's happened to me, I don't want to give you guys the message by saying that because I changed my course due to these factors means that your experience is going to be the same, if that makes sense, because everybody's experiences are different and what happened to me might not happen to you. You might actually love it. I just didn't. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So let me give you a little background history on me. I am coming from an engineering background. My dad is an engineer, he's a consultant engineer. His brothers are engineers doing railway engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, software engineering. Like my dad's brothers, he's got 3 of them including himself, making 4, and he's got a sister who's also an engineer. So I'm coming from an engineering background. Naturally, as I was younger, I was always interested in what my dad was doing. Now, if you didn't know, I am very heavily involved in, like, I sing if you didn't know, I dance as well, and I act. So growing up, that's what the field that I wanted to get into. And also, I'm very good at drawing. I'm very artistic, painting, drawing, like different types of artsy things is basically what God has bestowed upon me. So anyway, I just thought I'd let you guys know that so that you can kind of understand the kind of person that I am. So anyway, even without the artsy side, I was always interested in what my dad was doing. With that now, as I got older, I kept watching him, I kept learning from him. And because I gauged an interest in what he was doing from a young age, naturally I grew up thinking that that is what I wanted to do. So it just goes to show that your environment plays a big part in what you want to do and the type of person that you become and the type of person that you develop to be. Moving on, I wanted to do engineering in school. However, the 6th form that I applied for and that I ended up going to didn't specify in mechanical engineering alone. So I had to do subjects that intercrossed with engineering in order for me to become an engineer. In science, long story short, I ended up doing, like I said, all 3 sciences, and I decided I wanted to do health and social care as well because, like I mentioned in my last video, I don't ever like to limit myself. So after college, got my grades, got distinction stars, passed all my exams, everything was good. God is good, God is amazing. That was a tough time for me. Let me know if you want a story time on that, my college experience, because that was a very, very, very tough time for me. But anyway, how I developed an interest for architecture was basically after I had got my examination results, which I was very happy with, I passed everything, I came to realize that although what my dad was doing was something that I was very interested in, I feel like I would prefer architecture because it's more on the artsy side and I love drawing. If you don't do engineering, do architecture because they're similar but not the same. When I first started, I didn't really know everything. Like, I didn't know everything to do with architecture. I knew more about engineering than I did architecture. I knew how to use stuff like the scale ruler and all the measuring things. Like, I knew how to do that, but when it came to conducting like an architectural drawing, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. For some of you guys that are learning to do architecture, you'll come to learn, or you'll come to realize very, very, very quickly within the course that architecture will become your life. When you're not in lectures, or you're not in your seminars, or you're not in your classrooms, that they call it, you are constantly analysing architecture. It becomes your life. Like, it got to a point where I was so obsessed with what I was doing that I had to practice everywhere I went. Everywhere I went, I took a sketchbook with my pencil and I was sketching. Even random houses I would sketch, trying to measure how tall the building is. When I first started architecture, the work was relatively easy. Like the first couple of units was relatively easy because it's more like it's basically you learning and understanding the ground basis. So like I mentioned before, if you didn't know anything about architecture, you will come to learn about it within the first activities that they give you, but not all of these tutors help, and that is something that I hated when I did architecture. My tutor, first one I had anyway, was an amazing guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but he is an amazing guy. He's very helpful, very helpful, well, was anyway. And he just made the course very interesting, I think. He always tried to make it fun, so it didn't seem like it was work. He gave you a reason to enjoy it. But then I had another tutor, and this other tutor was a complete pagan. He was jarring. He was new. He was fairly young. He was not in his 20s for sure, but he was fairly young, and he was just completely annoying. And it's when he became my tutor that I just started losing my mind. So now the danger with having two tutors when you're doing something like architecture is they both have different opinions about certain things. So as you can imagine, when I had to design my own buildings, which I would spend all night doing, I would show the old man the next day. He would like it, but the other guy wouldn't. So as you can imagine, that put me in a very tough position, because it's one of them ones where it's like, right, I need to please both of you, find a happy medium, but you're not really giving me the tools to do that. You're not telling me what to do. Like, they won't ever tell you what to do. They'll give you recommendations, but they won't tell you what to do. They don't really help like that. So I was in an awkward situation. So I found myself going back and forth between the two. Like, what should I tweak? Like, what is it about my thing that you don't like? Or what is it about my thing that you do like? And because they had different opinions, I ended up just scrapping everything, throwing it away and redoing it. So as you can imagine, every day I'm redrawing, getting a no, redrawing, getting a yes, redrawing, getting a no, redrawing, getting a yes. And it was tiring. It was emotionally draining. And what would irritate me is the fact that the nice man that liked my stuff was two-faced as well, because it's one of them ones where it's like, right, you're telling me you like my stuff, the other guy's saying he doesn't like it, so I come to you both, you're not helping me, so I'm gonna find a happy medium and change it around so you both like it. And I'll bring my original drawing as well, so I can understand why you both don't like it, because you have meetings with them, like you have like a group class meeting with them, like after every project. And when it's time for this group meeting in front of everyone, please tell me why the guy that told me he liked my work then agreed with the other guy and said he doesn't like it. So when I'm designing it, you tell me you like it, but then when I'm showing you in front of the other guy, all of a sudden you don't like it anymore. So where do we go from here? Where do we actually go from here? Because the deadline is tomorrow, and I've spent all week, if not two, going back and forth between both of your opinions, just for you to then confirm to me in front of him a day before the examination that you don't like it. So where are we going from here? And it's not even like it's just one drawing you show him all your ideas and they pick the best one. So I've shown you everything that I've tweaked, and I've got the original drawing and all these other things. It's been coloured in, it's been shaded, it's been painted, everything, the final drawing. So I've got all the drawings from the beginning, the sketch, to the renovated one, to this. I've got all these drawings, 5 different buildings worth of drawings, just for you to tell me on the day before the examination that you don't like it. So that's one reason why I couldn't stand architecture, because it's like, you're not helping me, you're driving me mad, I'm going insane. I know you're trying to push me and you want me to do well, but you're not helping me because you're not helping my mental state of mind. You're making me lose my mind, and I refuse to lose my mind. So there was one unit within architecture that involved media. Like, architecture involves media anyway, but this particular unit 103.1, that's, I don't know if you guys will end up doing the same thing, but probably, where you're working in groups, and the people you work with, that's another story time in itself. That unit basically involved like sketching and designing your own like building based on the 5 senses, so like hearing, seeing, tasting, like based on the 5 senses, and stuff like that. And in that unit, I was in charge of my group. Basically, I was group leader, and it was basically media involved. So it involved like filming, editing, basically like what I loved doing. Like, although architecture and engineering, mechanical engineering was the industry I wanted to go into, my hobby and my heart-held interest was media studies. I don't know why I never did that in college, but my heart was always in media. Things like this, YouTube, media. That was what that unit was basically about, and I was group leader, and I was also in charge of filming and editing. Media involved things they left to me because they knew that was my strong point. So I was filming, I was editing. I loved it. Like, I loved editing, I loved media because it was something I already knew how to do and I was good at. I was always good at editing. I used the Windows to edit and the program wasn't that great, but I was good at what I was doing, and because I enjoyed myself and it's natural to me, it's easy to me, it's not something that I find difficult, which isn't necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but because I love this kind of stuff and I always have, when I was given that role, I was so happy. Like, I don't think you understand. It's almost like a weight had been lifted off my shoulder, and it's like God was telling me this is the direction you should be going in. Because once I did that unit and I did the media part, it's like something clicked. Something clicked because I wasn't happy. Architecture was making me so depressed and so unhappy. This is it. This is it. Like I said from before, I'm very creative. Media, performing arts, all that stuff is me in here. Drawing, everything. Like, I'm very, very creative. So it just clicked. And in the summertime, it clicked to me because I was watching Iron Fist on Netflix and I saw the editing and I saw the graphics. And in school, I loved media. I loved graphics. And when I saw the way the little man, the graphic, if you've ever seen it, you know what I'm talking about, the introduction, graphic intro, the way the little man was moving and stuff, I literally burst into tears. And I told my mum, no, this is what I need to do. I need to do this. I need to do this. And I prayed on it. I went to church, I prayed on it, and God told me yes. So I changed my course this year to television and broadcasting. There's so many media course subjects, it's just about picking the right one for you. And yes, I could have done video game development because originally I thought to myself, right, I love architecture and I love media and I love graphics, so why don't I do architecture within gaming? That's something that I wanted to do because I saw stuff like Assassin's Creed and the architecture in that game is just amazing, and things like Call of Duty, Fallout, all of these different things. So I thought, right, let me do architecture within gaming so I get the best of both worlds, and then I'll do an extra in graphic design. So I had it all figured out. But then it's only when I started doing research in the course, and one of my friends that I went to college with did the subject, that I said to myself, nah, actually I've got the personality for TV and I've got the personality for radio and I've got the appearance for TV and radio. So I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna do TV work, why don't I give it a shot? And I did, and I love my course. I love it to death. I don't ever feel any type of way when I've got something to do with this course. Like, I love it. Every time I've got a new unit, I'm excited to do the unit. That's how much I love my course. I knew something had to change. People in my course are so friendly. Like, my course mates are just darlings. Like, they're so friendly, they're so nice, you get on with all of them, and it's just the best decision that I've made. And that's something that I want you guys to take from this. So like I said in the beginning, I'm not telling you my architectural experience because I want you guys to second guess it. Because no, if it's something that you want to do, go and do it. Make me proud. Let me know when you've done it that you were stronger than I was, that you didn't allow your stress to overtake your dream. You didn't allow somebody else's indecisive, inconsiderate behavior stop you from making your dream come true. Because if your dream is to be an architect, you need to follow that dream. If that is your goal, if that is the vocation that God has chosen for you, and you're happy to accept that vocation, then you need to take it and accept it with open arms. It just goes to show that that wasn't my vocation. I thought it was because I had an interest in what my dad was doing, but that doesn't mean that that was my calling. So I hope this video helped you guys and it inspired you to follow your dreams. I hope this video also gave you guys a little bit of insight on me, helped some of you that are thinking about changing your course but are too scared to do that. I get it. Sometimes you're comfortable where you are, so you feel like, what's the point? Like, if I've come this far or if I've done this much, for me to go back is just long. For me to start all over again is just long. If I'm meant to go into second year, for me to go back into first year is just long. But you can't think of it like that because, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're actually paying 9 grand a year, so you better make sure that you're getting your 9 grand's worth. The thought of going backwards isn't always a positive thought, and and it's not always a positive thing. But you can't let that be the reason why you keep holding back. If your parents are telling you that this is what they want you to do, and in your heart you know it's not what you want to do, as much as you love your parents and you don't want to disrespect your parents and you don't want to disappoint your parents, you got to do what makes you happy. All parents want in this life is for you to be happy. And if it means that you have to tell them, look, I love you, but I'm not doing it anymore because it's not making me happy, then you have to do it, because in this life you're living for yourself. I'm not living for my mom, I'm not living for my dad, I'm not living for my 3 brothers, I'm living for myself, and I have to be happy with whatever I do. I have to be happy making money, doing something I love. I know so many people that have a degree in law, psychology, being a doctor, politics, and they're working in Tesco because they hate the degree and they have it for no reason, and they wish that they followed their dreams and they wish that they did what they want to do. If you find yourself in this position that you're unhappy with what you're doing and you feel like it's not right for you and you know what you should be doing, then go for it, because the only one stopping you is you. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that little note, with that little message. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up and a like. If you want to know any more story times about me and my course mates, or just university in general, or just anything uni related, like what to buy for uni, because I know some of you guys don't know that. I didn't know that when I started uni, not gonna lie. Just what to watch out for, just let me know and I'm happy to make those videos for you. I want to get this up quickly before September, because I know September's like around the corner. But yeah, I will leave you guys alone and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye. I'm such a weird